The IBB International Golf and Country Club in the heart of Nigeria's capital, Abuja, was the venue for the fourth stop on the West Africa Golf Tour calendar, the B&E Match Play. Created to promote and develop the game of golf throughout the West African region and to inspire the next generation of West African golfers, the tour is still in its infancy but has already proved a roaring success, with a host of sponsors and stakeholders climbing on board to support the world-class initiative. The goal of the tour is to allow West African golfing talent to compete alongside the best in the world and to put them on the world stage at international tournaments. It was the second tour event hosted at the pristine venue, which also hosted the inaugural tour event, the Abuja Invitational, won by local favourite Andrew Odo, who also won the third event, the Port Harcourt Golf Classic. Newly appointed tournament director Graham Webster was at the helm for his first event on the tour, and he used all his experience from his time on the Sunshine Tour to ensure that the B&E Match Play was a complete success.
I've been appointed the tournament director of West Africa Golf Tour. I actually referee on Sunshine Tour, I referee at and tournament direct for the PGA at some of their events. And Emeka Okata, when he was forming this tour, came to South Africa, met me and asked me if I'd be interested in coming to Nigeria to be the tournament director for their new tour that they were starting. I came out in October last year to have a look and discuss further, and this is my first event. There are, on most tours have a match play event, and the difference with the match play event is that it's head-to-head. It's one player against another player. If the player gets knocked out, that's it, he's on his way home. Stroke play, if the player has a bad round in the first round, he's got 3 rounds to actually catch up and try and recover, from his bad shots and his bad score. So if he's 3 over par for the first round and he has three rounds of 3 under par, he's back under par. You don't get that in match play. In match play, if you have a bad round, you're out, and you can get a good golfer has a mediocre round, level par or something like that. And a wild card that you wouldn't think would beat the top golfer, gets through because he happens to shoot 1 under par. So the good player's out. It's how you play on the day, and that's the end. At the end of the day, there's one winner.
The whole idea of West African Golf Tour is not for personal benefit to him. It is a way of encouraging golfers in Nigeria, and more especially the professionals, to be recognized, to see themselves as people who could compete with any other group in any part of the world. It is a game that will entice the Nigerian and West African golfers to compete with the European golfers, the American days, or that, and so on. And so he has done very well. I know also that the Nigerian PGA is also doing well, but the tour, the West African Golf Tour, which Emeka introduced, has done so well.
Just lastly, to see the West Africa Golf Tour here at your club for the B&E Match Play must be great as well, to see these golfers coming here.
Yes, IBB is known worldwide, and to see that the tour, West African Golf Tour, is playing here is a greater boost to the image and standard of the club. If nothing, it will make the club owners to improve the standard, the infrastructure, the whole arrangement in the golf to meet international standard, because the tour is taking place here. That's what happened in Port Harcourt's golf club, because we took the tour to Port Harcourt. The club owners started improving different standards, different structures in the club. The same thing happened to Elara Moke in Ondo State. So to play it here, to bring the game here, means a lot to the club. It boosts the image of the club. It puts the club in the world map. It makes people recognize and know the club. And so to bring the tour to IBB, I think is a great honor. It's a great thing, boost to the image of IBB.
The field was split up into 16 groups of 4 for the round-robin stage, with only the winners of each group advancing to the weekend's knockout phase. One of the first major upsets of the week was the elimination of Kingsley Oparaku, winner of the second tour event, the Smoking Hills Invitational in Ondo. Oparaku failed to make it out of the Charles Farrell group, which in the end was won by Godwin Sai. Aside from Oparaku, though, all of the big names in the field advanced as expected, taking their place in the weekend's knockout rounds were the household names in West African golf, such as Amos Kobla, Andrew Odo and Vincent Toga. They were joined in the knockouts by a number of young up-and-coming players, illustrating the rising quality on show on the tour. Players like Mike Ubi, Atako Morgan and Daniel Pam emerged as serious contenders over the course of the first 3 tour events. They are amongst a batch of players hoping to raise the profile of West African golf through their achievements on the course, and have contributed considerably to the remarkable growth of the tour. News of the tour's success has already spread to the far reaches of the globe, and the tour has begun to attract players from the PGA, European and Sunshine tours. One of those players is Joshua Steele. Originally from Pretoria, but now calling Orlando, Florida his home, Steele comes from fine golfing stock. His father has coached several PGA Tour stars. Steele is eligible to compete in the Sunshine, Asian and European tours, but in a mark of just how far the West Africa Golf Tour has come in such a short space of time, Steele and many others just like him have been testing their mettle on the finest courses in Nigeria.
I did some research on big events in Africa as the continent itself, with the Opens, Cameroon, Ghana, such as, and I came across this tour and I saw the money's pretty good, and I sent an email and I got an invite for this week's event. Being in Nigeria's been pretty good. As a lot of people already know, I've just been golf course in it and hotel back and forth, but golf course is pretty good. It's a good test. It's tight. It's long when it's wet, as it is now, and it's a good test of golf, I think, for any person out there. I'm a very routine guy. My dad has coached Matt Kuchar for the last 15 years on the PGA Tour, and he's always taught me it's procedure and the same routine. I've been eating the same food every night. I've been listening to the same music every day. Today, actually, I changed it up a little bit with the songs. Maybe that has something to do with it, but no, I keep routine. I listen to various amounts of songs. I listen to deep house music, a couple rap songs, stuff that motivates me in the lyrics. But yeah, it's pretty much routine, everything that I do. The West Africa Golf Tour for the remaining events of the year, I'd like to get a couple victories, get a couple top 5s, and try to work my way up in the order of merit, as I haven't. This is my first event of the year for this tour, so I am behind on the order of merit and points and such as, but I'll be working my butt off to get to the top.
The last 16 draw offered up a number of intriguing pairings, but ultimately the majority of matches went according to form and expectations. One of those that didn't, though, was Gabriel Joseph's match against Elisha Marcus. Joseph hadn't earned a single Order of Merit point in any of the first 3 tour events, while rising star Marcus had impressed, picking up 545 points. But their last 16 meetings saw Joseph emerge the comfortable victor, and he advanced to a quarter-final against one of the tournament favourites, Andrew Odo, who defeated Francis Isuku. Joining Odo in the last 8 were his fellow favourites Vincent Toga and Amos Kobla. The duo safely secured their places in the quarters with dominant wins in the last 16 over Udom Sater and Emmanuel Agon, respectively. All 3 were paired with relative rookies in the round of 8, with Odo facing Joseph, Toga taking on Daniel Pam, and Kobla up against Mike Ubi. Kingsley Oparaku's conqueror Godwin Sai fell to elimination against Atako Morgan. Mark Joseph put in a brilliant performance to advance at the expense of Liman Muhammad Yahya. After the break, we recap the quarterfinals and highlight another big upset of the B&E match play, as Daniel Pam eliminated one of the tournament favourites. Saturday afternoon's quarter-finals were played in exquisite conditions in Abuja. The sun shone brightly and a gentle breeze swept across the course, keeping the players, officials and spectators cool. On the course though, things were certainly hotting up. The match-play format was truly proving a leveler, with the second major shock of the tournament coming in the quarter-final pairs. Daniel Pam and Vincent Toga faced off in a David versus Goliath matchup, and it was Pam who brought the giant to his knees with a convincing victory that shocked everyone at IBB. Pam was 2 up after 9, 3 up after 13, and sealed his quarter-final upset victory when he moved to an unassailable lead of 3 up after 16, confirming Toga's elimination. Coming up against one of the tournament favourites would ordinarily prove a hindrance, but Pam instead chose to embrace his status as the underdog in the tie and allowed himself to take the pressure off. His relaxed attitude proved the key as he went on to claim a fantastic victory against the odds. Toga, for his part, admitted that he gave everything on the course, but that it was just one of those days where he was beaten by the better player. The Ghanaian number 1 enjoyed the pressure of the match-play format despite ending up on the wrong side of the result.
It came as a surprise that you could actually knock out one of the major tournament favorites in Vincent Toga here. How was that game for you?
Yeah, I think playing with him, I feel more relaxed out of the matches I played. When I met him and I feel relaxed. He is the player that I was so relaxed to play with. Yeah, and I'm so happy to beat him as the Ghana number 1. Yeah, so.
Now here's the interesting thing. After speaking to Vincent Toga, he said your putting was absolutely amazing. Tell us about that.
Yeah, my putting, that's one of my weapons. Yeah, that is it. So if it's putting, definitely I'm doing well in putting.
Came as a surprise to most of your fans who see you as favorites in this competition to actually not make it into the semi-finals.
Yeah, just unfortunate that I didn't make it to the semi-finals. I played very well this afternoon, just that the guy was putting so well that I couldn't stand the pressure from him, and he deserved to go forward for the next round.
Does the format of the competition have anything to do with the pressure?
Yeah, it is, because this game is a pressure game because it's called a match play, and any mistake you make goes against you. There's no stroke behind it. You just have to win every hole that you can win. If not, you can't continue the game. So it's a game that you need to win. It's all about winning. So if you don't win your game, you're out.
Andrew Odo got better as the tournament progressed and was in fine form for his match against the powerful Gabriel Joseph. Odo advanced to the semi-finals with a fantastic win, but it wasn't as straightforward as the final scoreline suggested. Joseph has recently spent time in South Africa working on his game and returned to Nigeria a much improved player. A powerful man who possesses a long drive in his arsenal, Joseph worked hard in South Africa on his short game. His drastically improved work around the greens was a major contributing factor to his excellent performance in the round-robin phase, as well as the round of 16. His elimination of Elisha Marcus sent out a warning to the rest of the field, and Odo needed to dig deep to secure the victory. Joseph put Odo under immense pressure on several occasions, but the 35-year-old demonstrated his incredible temperament and came up with a succession of big putts at crucial times to keep Joseph at arm's length throughout the match. Odo was 2 up after a birdie at 9 and maintained the margin through to the 17th to claim the victory. The win meant that Odo remained on course to win his 3rd tour event out of 4, and while he understandably reveled in a solid victory, Odo also took time out to praise his opponent for putting up such a fantastic fight on the course.
Great momentum you built from the start of this competition, and it looks as though you want to clinch this one again just like you did in Port Harcourt.
Yes, that's the goal every week. I mean, it's, like I always say, it's you finish second, you're actually the first loser. So for me, it's about winning. You know, so you need to just keep growing with that mentality and all. But look, whatever comes, I take for sure. I'm not going to kill myself if I don't win. You know, but I'm always going to give it my best shot to get to the top. You know, so that's the goal for the week. Playing hard, and hopefully it will happen before the week runs out.
To a lot of your fans, this is the best golf they have seen Andrew Odo play. Do you agree with that?
I mean, look, I've played a lot of good golf, that's for sure. But I mean, a lot of them will have the right to say so because quite quite a big number of them actually know me when I'm already Andrew Odo. You know, when I was coming up, I was playing a lot of good golf. Just when I turned pro, my early age, when I just turned pro, I played a whole lot of good golf, and I think that I'm beginning to get back to that feeling again. I'm beginning to strike the ball really good. I'm beginning to putt decent. I'm beginning to chip very decent as well. So everything is beginning to come together. So hopefully that is going to help me through the week. But I'm still working really hard on it just to get that consistency going.
It seems as though the pressure is much on you golfers during match play than it is on stroke play.
I definitely agree, because in match play anything can go wrong. You know, you just surprised with Gift Willie, and Gift Willie couldn't qualify from his group. You know, so and he's a big player on this tour. You know, so Gabriel Joseph, the guy who beat Gift Willie and also beat Elisha Marcos, happens to play with me in the quarterfinals. You know, but I mean, he's such a young talent. He just came back from South Africa. He went there to do a bit of training and all. He just came back, and it really shows that there's a bit of improvement in his game, because I know him quite a lot. So it shows that there's a big improvement in his game. And I mean, look, I was really surprised that he knocked out Elisha Marcos and Gift Willie, to be very honest, because those are really big names on the tour, and they are really good players. These are guys who have seen pressure and all. So, but it's really good that we've seen some young lads coming into the mix as well. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a good feeling.
Take us through what the West African Golf Tour has done in the lives of most of the golfers since its inception.
Well, I mean, you know, as it is, we're still growing, that's for sure, but it has really impacted on, obviously, the pro golfers around. It has really impacted on us, especially, you know, like I always say, especially on the media side. You know, it's given us a bit more publicity, which is really good. I mean, if you have your stocks, if you sell clothes and you have your stocks in your bedroom, nobody knows what you're selling. You know, so it's really good that they've come up with this media. It's good that they've come up with this media arrangement, and that has really, really done a lot for us. People are beginning to know that we play golf in Nigeria and West Africa and all. So it's really good. I mean, that impact alone to professional golf is a really positive one.
How would you rate your position so far?
Well, I had a stiffer match earlier today. I think that so far the match I had to really think about was Francis Isuku. He gave me a bit to think about, really. I mean, I wasn't playing really well though, but he was just having lifeline every single time he wanted to go down. You know, so he made some really crucial putts, and that held me on until the 17th. You know, but I'm happy that I got the job done. But I mean, overall, I would say that it's been a bit better for me.
Quarterfinal 3 saw Atako Morgan and Mark Joseph contest a very evenly fought encounter. The pair were all square through the turn, but an incredible run of 3 birdies in 4 holes from Morgan placed him 3 up after 13. He went on to pick up a dominant victory and with it a place in the semi-finals against Andrew Odo. Morgan is exactly the type of golfer the West Africa Golf Tour is hoping to promote. Young, talented, ambitious, and with a burning desire to succeed in the sport. His performance in sealing the quarter-final victory was exemplary, and he fully deserved his place in the last 4 alongside Odo, Daniel Pam, and the veteran Amos Kobla, who defeated Mike Ubi with ease.
Morgan, you made it into the semi-finals. Take us through how that feels for you.
I'm very happy to be in that position at the moment. Yeah, it makes me happy, and I've really worked hard on it, practiced a lot on my putting, which have been part of my problem in a few months past, but now I have conquered that.
You were the first golfer to actually win your 3 games in a row with 6 points on board. It seems you built some really good momentum that's still carrying you through.
Yeah, like I said, I putted very well in the first round, second round, third round. Even on the fourth round, I putted very well. That's really put me through in the game.
So Morgan, you're playing against a major favorite of this tournament here on this ground, Andrew Odo, in the semi-finals. You think you're mentally prepared for that?
Yes, I'm prepared. I will do my best to make sure I win. That's why I'm here.
Match play, stroke play, this format, which do you prefer?
Well, I have no choice. I'm ready for any of them, any day, any time.
It's the new kids on the block taking on the old guard. Daniel Pam faces the landlord Amos Kobla, and Andrew Odo looks to see off the challenge of Atako Morgan. After the break, we build up to the semi-finals of the B&E match play as the players and field prepare for their epic top 4 showdown. The West Africa Golf Tour is dedicated to expanding the game of golf across the nations of West Africa, enhancing players' experience of the sport and attracting international interest in the various host countries to the common passion of the sport of golf. The vision is for the West Africa Golf Tour to host internationally acclaimed professional tournaments, engaging high-profile golfers and personalities, and establishing working relationships with prominent golf courses and golfing figures in the region. The aim is